Hello, everyone. Good evening and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm so happy to have all of you here with me this evening. And so tonight, the theme of our meditation is stress in the holidays. Maybe it sounds familiar to you, the combination of stress and the holidays. The holidays is often such a wonderful time. It's often a time of joy, right? We see joy written in holiday cards. We hear it in holiday songs. And although the holidays can certainly be wonderful and happy and joyful times, they can also be times of stress. During the holidays, we're buying gifts for others, and maybe it's stressful to find the right gift or finding the right time to shop. Other things that can be challenging could be decorating our homes or writing out holiday cards, right? There's so much that goes on during the holiday season that's added to our current plate. Maybe we have financial stressors. It's often a time where we're spending more than we typically do. Another stressor could be entertaining, right? Maybe we're having family or friends over and we're hosting, and this involves additional cooking and cleaning. And all of this can take a toll and it can contribute to holiday stress. In addition to that, this year may look a little bit different. We may not be able to have family over or friends over like we normally do. And perhaps this will cause or is causing feelings of loneliness or isolation during this holiday season. And so I know I've listed quite a gamut of stressors, and you may be familiar with one of them, or you may be familiar with many of them. So although it's such a wonderful time of year and such a beautiful time of year for many, it can also be quite stressful. And I think we're all familiar with stress. It can really take a toll on us, both physically and psychologically. And so when we're experiencing stress, when we're in times of stress, it's especially important to give ourselves self-care. It's especially important to focus on caring for ourselves and taking care of our own needs. And mindfulness is such a powerful way to reduce stress. There has been a tremendous amount of research that has been done to show that mindfulness reduces stress. And so we can really use our mindfulness practice to help us recenter in moments of stress. We can use our practice to help us reground, to help us find a little bit of internal stillness, to help us find calm in moments of turbulence. Something that's so wonderful about this practice, and it's always accessible to us. And there's a wonderful quote by Jon Kabat-Zinn that I'd like to share with you. Perhaps you've heard it before, but I think it's so great and a nice reminder. You can't control the waves, but you can learn to surf. And I'm going to say that one more time. You can't control the waves, but you can learn to surf. And so, although there may be a lot going on around us, so much chaos or whatever it might be, we can learn to ride these waves. We can be present and find a way to reground ourselves and to recenter. And so tonight, we're going to find an anchor that can help us to ground during these turbulent times or challenging times or stressful times. Doesn't always have to apply to just the holiday season, right? We'll find an anchor that we can use in everyday life or everyday moments of stress. And we're going to explore various elements of practice. And we're going to choose an anchor that we can use in these moments of stress to really help us recenter, to reground, and to find a greater sense of balance. And so with that, I'd like to move into our formal meditation practice. So I invite you to find your posture now. So finding a seat if you haven't done so already. And then just allowing the eyes to close or softening the gaze. Taking a moment to settle into this posture. So maybe noticing the feet making contact with the floor. Maybe noticing the sits bones resting on the chair or the seat. And if it feels right, perhaps finding a little extra length in the spine. Maybe giving the shoulders a shrug if that feels right. So just lifting the shoulders up toward the ears and then releasing them back down to the sides of the body. And if that felt good, maybe doing that one more time, just lifting the shoulders up to the ears and releasing them back down to the sides of the body. Maybe inviting a softening in the forehead. Maybe slackening the jaw if that feels right. And then directing the awareness, directing the attention onto the breath. And just staying with the breath in the body. So beginning to follow each breath, breath by breath and moment by moment. Simply noticing one breath in, one breath out. Another breath in, and another breath out. And continuing to follow the breath in this way. Really using the breath as a way to anchor into the body. Using the breath as a way to anchor into this present moment. Just continuing to follow each breath, breath by breath and moment by moment. Just staying with the breath that breathes itself. Perhaps noticing the rise and the fall of the body with each inhalation and each exhalation. And if the mind has wandered away, which at some point it surely will, just coming back to the breath once again. Following each breath cycle all the way to the end. Perhaps noticing how each exhalation naturally turns into the next breath. And now taking some time to scan the body from the feet all the way to the crown of the head. And as you do so, notice any physical sensations that are making themselves known to you. So just exploring any physical sensations that can be felt in the body in this moment. And maybe there are many, or perhaps there's one that you notice. And if there are many, just selecting one particular physical sensation. And then bringing a circle of awareness around this physical sensation. And knowing that you have options. So if this physical sensation is related to your posture, knowing that there's an ability to shift and move your posture in any way that you might need. Setting an intention before you do so. So setting an intention to pay attention to this shift or transition. The other option is knowing that there's an ability to return to the breath at any point in time throughout this practice. And if you've chosen a physical sensation and you'd like to explore this a little bit further, take a moment and just zoom in a little bit more closely on this physical sensation. Really begin to explore and observe its qualities and characteristics. Maybe noticing, is this physical sensation large? Is it small? Maybe giving this physical sensation a shape. Circle, triangle, oval. Perhaps giving this physical sensation a color. Maybe it's bright and vibrant, or perhaps the color is dull and muted. What color is this physical sensation? And then noticing the texture of this physical sensation. Is it smooth, bumpy, prickly, tingly? Just sensing into the texture of this particular physical sensation. And then letting this go. And scanning the body once more from the feet all the way to the crown of the head. Again, noticing any physical sensations that are making themselves known to you. And again, choosing one. So perhaps it's the same physical sensation, or maybe it's a different one this time. Bringing a circle of awareness around this sensation. And then zooming in just a little bit more closely. And observing and noticing the qualities and characteristics of it. What shape is this physical sensation? What color is this physical sensation? What texture is this sensation? Just taking a moment to explore this, to notice this. And then noticing if this physical sensation has shifted or changed in any way. And knowing that physical sensations are a wonderful way to anchor into the body and to anchor into the moment. And now directing the attention onto sound. So, not searching for sound, just allowing sound to enter your field of awareness. Maybe noticing internal sounds, sounds of breath or digestion. Maybe noticing external sounds, sounds that are near to you. Maybe noticing sounds in the same room. Maybe noticing sounds outside your living space. Maybe noticing sounds to the right of you. Maybe noticing sounds to the left of you. And perhaps noticing the absence of sound. So just taking some time to rest the awareness on sound, using sound as a way to anchor into this moment. Using sound as a way to ground into the present moment experience. And if the mind has drifted away, just coming back to sound once again. And so I'd like to invite you to choose an anchor. So whether that's the breath, physical sensations, or sound, just choosing one of these and resting the awareness on this particular anchor of your choice. So if you've chosen the breath, just staying with the breath as best you can. You've chosen physical sensations, just staying present with the physical sensations that are felt and known in the body. And if you've chosen sound, just gently resting the awareness on sounds that come into the field of your awareness. Continuing to stay with whatever anchor it is that you chose. And if you've chosen physical sensations or sound, just coming back to the breath once again. Just following along with the breath in the body. Staying with this breath that breathes itself. And I'm going to read a poem that to me beautifully describes how wonderful anchoring into the breath can be. It's called Breath of Life by Dana Falls. I breathe in all that is, awareness expanding to take everything in, as if my heart beats the world into being. From the unnamed vastness beneath the mind, I breathe my way into wholeness and healing. Inhalation, exhalation, each breath a yes and a letting go, a journey and a coming home. Just taking a moment with those words. And soon I'll be ringing the bell to signify the end of this formal meditation practice. And just seeing if it's possible to stay with the sound all the way to the end. And if your eyes have been closed, I invite you to open them now. And I have an invitation for you this week. So I invite you to choose an anchor, whether it's the breath, physical sensations, sound, or perhaps it's something else. And when you're feeling stressed this week, take a moment to tune into this anchor, whether it's the breath or sound or physical sensations, and really allow it to help you ground back into the present moment. And as you do this, it's important to offer yourself kindness and self-compassion if you need it. I want to thank you so much for joining us this evening. It was such a pleasure having you here, and I really hope to see you soon. Be well and take care. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.